people can produce food for security, produce food to stay in, produce food to sell out. So we have all kind of avenues to make money and to benefit. But we need to move. We need to act. We just can't sit, like I said earlier. We cannot sit and wait because the competition is fierce. Just like how we're looking at things, other countries looking at things. So Expo is really an avenue, and this pavilion creates a tool for us to maximize on our exposure and our connectivity, and let the people know that the Bahamas does exist, and we're open for business. When we were hit with hurricane, the whole thing, everything stopped. So tourism is number one industry for us, right? We all agree on that. There is no ifs or buts about it. But we need also now to diversify on things that alleviate, because this COVID has told us a lot of things and showed us a lot of things, and we learned a lot from COVID, you know? So now we have to think of other factors, like the read factor, for example. We have to think of other things seriously. We have to think of other things to make ends meet. And not just ends meet, but to produce more food and more supplies, whether we go into the blue economy, the green economy, the orange economy, you name it. We are open for business to do it, and we are happy and delighted to accept any investor that show us that they are credible and they are capable of joint venturing with Bahamian people.
Well, Ambassador Jody, we hope that this is the beginning of new jump-starting the economy, and we wish you all the best as the World Expo gets ready to close. I think it ends in March, right?
Correct. Now, I'm hearing they may probably extend it another month. I'm not sure, but we'll get the details later.
Great. And, of course, we all look forward to the Prime Minister's return and hearing the good news that he might have for us. Thank you very much for joining us on the Read Factor and for your service.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Good. And we thank you for joining us. Learn as much as you can about Dubai and what's going on in the world as far as innovation is concerned. And we're going to try and help you do that. We'll see you next time on the Read Factor.
The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. When a hurricane alert is issued for your area, which indicates the possibility that you could experience hurricane conditions within 60 hours, you should begin the initial stages of preparation for the storm. When the storm is 48 hours away, a hurricane watch is issued. Once a watch is issued, be sure to get updates from the Met Office via television or radio. Get your battery-powered radio ready. Keep your emergency supply kit, blankets, and sleeping bags handy, and keep children and pets indoors. Be sure you have extra cash and a car tank full of gas. Fill all prescriptions. A hurricane warning means that a storm with winds up to 74 miles per hour or more is 36 hours away. At this point, secure all windows with shutters and plywood. Place your valuables in a waterproof container and store them on the highest floor in your home or in the safest area. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Bahamas is set to host the Regional Climate Change Meeting this year. Progress being made in the Grand Lucayan sale. And 26 persons hauled before the Magistrates Court after being found in breach of the Business License Act. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and
And welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Simone Davis. Thank you so much for joining us. Topping the news, the nation's leader, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, says the Bahamas will host the first regional meeting of the heads of government in preparation for the 2022 United Nations Climate Change Conference, more commonly referred to as COP27. The announcement coming during the weekly Office of the Prime Minister press briefing. Davis says the meeting is scheduled for August 16th to the 17th at the Bahamar Resort.
The government of the Bahamas intends to establish the meeting as an annual event and will seek to have it instituted as a regular meeting on the United Nations Framework for Climate Change Convention calendar. I have said repeatedly that what happens in this region doesn't stay in this region. We must take the reins in ending our suffering and replace our position of vulnerability with that of power. It's past time to go on the offensive against the painful blows climate change has landed in the region.
The Prime Minister says his administration is still fighting against climate change for the Bahamas, and the government intends to establish this meeting as an annual event.
The meeting is also intended to establish a Caribbean response, exclusive of the conventional Latin America-Caribbean pairing, in order to better reflect common geographical and geopolitical issues of Caribbean states. At the conclusion of the meeting, a chair's summary will be made available detailing the scope of the discussions as well as the key messages and ideas that emerge.
Also from this morning's official press briefing, Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister Clint Watson revealing that the nation will observe a week-long national memorial in September in honor of the victims, survivors, and first responders of Hurricane Dorian. Watson notes that throughout the week, events are scheduled in New Providence, Abaco, and Grand Bahama.
And it's simply in a matter of weeks, the country will observe the third anniversary of Hurricane Dorian, September 1. The government of the Bahamas is pleased to announce that the country will observe a week-long national memorial in honor of the victims, survivors, and first responders. There'll be a week of activities which we'll be announcing very soon as how we will go through the week of memorializing those involved in Hurricane Dorian. So listen out for that. There'll be events here in New Providence, Abaco, and Grand Bahama.
The memorial is set to kick off on September 1st, the day that Dorian made landfall in the Bahamas. Watson also revealing that there will be a Grammy Award-winning artist who will be performing at the concert.
I believe you have a message from that headliner for that special memorial concert.
Hello, Bahamas. This is Cece Winans inviting you to join me September 1st at the Bahamar Convention Center as we honor the memories of the 2019 Dorian hurricane victims and families. I look forward to seeing you there.
The event is absolutely free, and so we look forward. You will hear instructions as to how you can get admission passes for the event, and we look forward to celebrating with families, the memories of the victims who lost their lives, as well as families, survivors, and the Bahamian public as we really pause and to remember them, but also to give thanks to God for keeping our nation.
Some good news tonight. The sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort is progressing and on track for completion. That's according to a news release issued by the Board of Directors of the Lucayan Renewal Holdings this afternoon. The news release reveals that the parties have agreed to a 45-day extension to complete requisite legal documentation. It further notes that at this time, they anticipate no other material changes and renovations are expected to begin in January 2023. Additionally, the release states that the Lucayan Renewal Holdings and Electra America Hospitality Group remain committed to the revitalization of the tourism industry on Grand Bahama. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, the CEO of Electra America Hospitality Group, Russ Urban, reiterated that they are excited about Grand Bahama. And as they move forward with closing the deal, they want to reassure residents of their commitment to developing a world-class resort and collaborating on community development initiatives. In other news, 23 persons arraigned before the magistrate court in Freeport for breach of the Business License Act. This coming as a result of a joint operation between the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, which was launched recently to crack down on the issue of persons operating roadside garages. Our Raven Davis has that report.
Total of 26 individuals throughout the inner city of Freeport arraigned before the magistrate court after being found in violation of the Business License Act. Members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force dubbing this Operation Zero Tolerance. Assistant Superintendent of Police Stephen Roll on hand today for the arraignment.
On Thursday, the 20th of July, on Friday, the 29th of July, the Assistant Commissioner of Grand Bahama, Theophilus Cunningham, along with the Grand Bahama Port Authority, came together and launched Operation Zero Tolerance. This operation was geared towards persons in the community who are operating roadside garages without a proper business license.
Roll cautioning persons engaging in this illicit activity to stop as they run the risk of incurring a penalty.
And I want to say also to persons who are still operating those businesses without a license to cease forthwith. The operation is ongoing through the entire island of Grand Bahama. And if you're found in violation, you will be brought before the court to answer the charges.
Over the years, the Grand Bahama Port Authority has forged a partnership with the Royal Bahamas Police Force to address a number of related matters, including code enforcement issues and unlicensed business operations. That's according to Assistant City Manager Reynaldo Carriorio. He says the initiative was born out of necessity as the Grand Bahama Port Authority continues to act as a regulator for the city of Freeport.
We are guided by the Building and Sanitary Code, which are contained within the Freeport City bylaws. And those bylaws state that no trade or industry or business should be occurring from a residential property. Additionally, contained in every deed of conveyance, there are certain restrictions which state how a property may be used. Residentially owned properties are for residential construction and residential dwellings.
Well, the issue is a long-standing one that has reportedly been amplified following Hurricane Dorian. Carriorio says it raises environmental, health, and safety concerns, and from the aspect of police, there are even criminal concerns.
We would encourage all persons and all residents who are engaged in this type of operation to do it in the right manner, which is to obtain a business license. They can do so by stopping into the Customer Relations Department at the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Our licensing process is fairly straightforward, and they will find that the staff is courteous and professional.
For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Now, police say in total, 26 persons were expected to be arraigned in court today. However, 3 of which were a no-show, and a bench warrant has been issued for their arrest. For the 23 persons arraigned, all pleaded not guilty and were granted bail in the amount of $800 with one short tour. They returned to court on the 11th of August and the 5th of September. And police officers from the Southwestern Division on Grand Bahama want to question 30-year-old Winston Lindsay for housebreaking and stealing a vessel. The 30-year-old of Pratt Alley and Cowpen Road, New Providence, weighs about 175 pounds, is of dark brown complexion, has dark brown eyes, and stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. Anyone spotting him, please contact 911, the National Crime Prevention Center at 302-8430, and the Crime Stoppers at 352-1919 or 350-3106. Meanwhile, police on Grand Bahama also want to find 30-year-old Justin Jared Zonical in connection with threats of death and causing harm. The Drake Avenue resident stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, is of dark brown complexion, has dark brown eyes. Zonical has tattoos on his left and right forearms and shoulders. Anyone spotting him, contact 911 Southwestern Division Grand Bahama at 373-1112 or Crime Stoppers at 352-1919. In other news, the lack of fire hydrants is the cry for residents in South Bahamia. It is alleged that no fire hydrants are functioning in the private subdivision. Tonight, our Jolanda Thompson speaks with concerned resident and local fire services department.
Blazing fire has become a major concern for the residents in the South Bahamia area.
The concern comes after a few residents involved in the neighborhood watch group have noticed that there are no fire hydrants presently working. Resident of the area, Darren Cooper, expresses his deep concern of bushfires and is disappointed at the dysfunction of the hydrants. The bushfires are said to have started on Sunday, stretching from Yorkshires into Aberdeen onto Montrose and has gone as far as Hunters.
One of the challenges in being able to properly fight the fire, and us as residents questioning the firefighters on when they leave, sometimes they're gone for about 25, 30 minutes. We thought, they would have left and called to come to find out that there is no fire hydrants in South Bahamia that's presently working. This is the information that we would have received. And they would have to go as far as the Sainsbury for water, or in some cases Hawksbill for water, or even as far as Cabell Beach.
Cooper is asking the relevant authorities to step in and is also asking his fellow residents to do their part in ensuring that they are safe.
Listen, if you don't have a water hose, go and buy one. It's very important that you have one at your property, one that's working, at least 100 feet of hose to be able to wrap around the property for your safety, to make sure that your soffit boards are wet, your roof is wet, you're able to hold whatever comes to your yard.
Our ZNS News team reached out to the local fire services department on this issue. Assistant Superintendent of Police Eli Araskar says that his officers are doing their best to protect the residents' homes and properties.
At this time, we have lost no property. We have no injuries to report at this time. So to be mindful, yes, you might be seeing smoke or some flames in your area at this time, which are not threatening your home. But the trucks and the officers are at maybe another area that where the fire is actually threatening that home or person's property are at risk. So they would have already checked that area, a previous area, if they deemed that that's safe at the time, so they could remain focused on another area. That's where they would be.
MP for Central Grand Bahama area, Iram Lewis, also getting involved, noting that developers are responsible for putting sufficient hydrants in place and to ensure they are properly serviced.
Just came out of a meeting with the developer representative. They do have 6 fire hydrants in this whole subdivision, which is inadequate. However, I'm pleased to say that plans are underway for more hydrants to be located. I've asked them for numbers and I've asked them for timelines. Also for their maintenance program, so that we will not only having fire hydrants here is one thing, but ensuring that they are serviced, that they're fully charged, and that they're accessible.
Now, we reached out to a representative from Bahamia Services regarding the lack of fire hydrants in the Bahamia community. We were told that a response will be given at a later time. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson.
When we come back, we speak with the principal of Sunland Baptist Academy as the school mourns the island's latest drowning victim, Malik Miller. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.
Come on down to Dolly Madison and get your hurricane supplies before it's too late. Don't let supply chain issues cause you to miss out on hurricane supplies you need. Come on down. Now.
Get summer ready with the arrival of cool and comfy 2-piece short sets from Esquire Men's Freeport. Order online or call 352-8816.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let's put shoes on your feet.
We are proud to announce that the Doctors Hospital Cavallo Medical Center is now open in Hannah Hill, 8 Mile Rock. Our team is excited to connect with you, and that's why we want to invite you out to our Cavallo Health Fair this Saturday, August 6th, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the St. Stephen's Anglican Church Ground, 8 Mile Rock. Attendees will have access to free workout sessions, early enrollment into Doctors Hospital Loyalty Advantage membership program, and a bouncing castle for the kids, and so much more. Come out this Saturday. It's time for you to take advantage of trusted and best care now.
See, it's really unique in the fact that this is the only place where you can buy any of the brands that are inside of it. We don't carry any major national brands, any big corporate owned companies. It's all small, family-owned boutique producers, artisanal producers that have exceptional quality and real attention to detail in what they do. The Bahamas is a very expensive market for wine. It's the cost to import wine is very high. So we wanted to go and find wines that had really, really high value at prices that still translated well once they got here. We pretty much carry almost all dry wines, still fine wines, different grapes. A lot of them you've never heard of before. Indigenous grapes from different regions. We carry a lot of stuff mostly from Europe, but some South American stuff as well, like Chile and Argentina. But really we focus strongly on the European countries, France and Italy, Austria, Portugal, Spain. Those are our real areas of focus because that's where the values are. Phone number is 825-WINE. Seagate Wines on Instagram, Seagate Wines on Facebook. Just drop by and chat with us.
That as a utility, we do our best to manage the costs, to have the least amount of negative impact on our customers.
The Grand Bahama Power Company is coming to our ZNS Roundtable.
The Grand Bahama Power Company has failed to pass on millions of dollars of savings to the customers.
With the answers to all of your questions in full transparency.
The reality is that the business side of Grand Bahama Power Company wants to ensure that we are able to provide cost-effective, reliable energy.
Hear from their team as we take an inside look at their 98% Bahamian operation.
We found out that the meter is not working. It's most of the time, 100% of the time, somebody has tampered with that meter.
When we get into the bucking, the boom and the drill sector, it's a whole different program.
GIS will bring GB Power to the next level.
Join us on August 8th through the 12th at 1 p.m. for a special look at Behind the Power with GB Power only on the ZNS Network.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Over in Abaco, the Member of Parliament for Central and South Abaco, John Pinder, and the Hopetown District Council hosting a town hall meeting to discuss issues affecting those areas. The area's MP says this is one of many meetings held to hear the concerns of Abaconians post-Dorian and better assist in their rebuilding efforts. Aja Quant reports.
Residents on the various keys here in Abaco are in preparation for a town hall meeting where Member of Parliament for Central and South Abaco, John Pinder, will be in attendance. He says this is the first meeting to be held in Hopetown since taking office. Town hall meetings, like the one being held at St. James Community in Hopetown, is described as very important as residents have different views and issues.
Here in Hopetown, I'm ready to take in and to reorganize my priorities on what should be done and what I'm pushing for when I hear from the people on the ground. I live in Hopetown, but the people in each of the communities know what's best. The answers are within those who live there.
MP Pinder says in addition to this one, he has held town hall meetings in different areas throughout his constituencies.
Right after I was elected, I immediately did one in Marsh Harbor. That was one of the first ones I did. And I've done them in Spring City, and I've done them in Moores Island, and multiple communities. The Keys are next up because this will be the first one here. Once I am done with Hopetown, Guanakee, Manawar, I'll revert back. Each of those communities are special and unique in their own ways, and each of those communities have something different that they would like at the forefront of my efforts.
As Marsh Harbor is the service center for all the Keys, MP Pinder says he was appalled at the lack of progression and real effort residents of Abaco has faced.
I intend, and what I promised to do was to speak loud for our Abaconians to move forward these issues. We have infrastructure issues. We still have roads and water and electricity that needs to be done. We still have numerous retail spaces and houses that need help. We still have a lot of investment projects that need new investors. We still have a lot to do. More than I can say we can do in the next 2 years. It's going to take a few years to happen. But what I have been doing is I have been setting the groundwork to make these things happen. I have written, I have spoken to the ministers, the different departments, the directors, and the permanent secretaries to lay ground for real movement on rebuilding Marsh Harbor, Central Abaco in a whole.
Now the Member of Parliament says he looks forward to hearing the concerns of all his constituents, and he intends on increasing the town hall meetings in all of his constituencies to 2 per year. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant.
Thanks, Azure, reporting all the way in Abaco. Switching gears now, the Grand Bahama community is saddened by the loss of the teenager who drowned during the August Monday holiday. Our Jolanda Thompson has been on the beat, and tonight she tells us that a void has been left in the lives of not only his immediate family, but also his school family.
Principal of Sunland Baptist Academy, Devonna Knowles, has spent just 2 years at the academic facility and says that 17-year-old Malik Miller and his family were one of the first to give her a warm welcome. She shares that his footsteps will live on at the school and that those who had a chance to know him will always love him. Knowles used these words to honor the grade 10 student.
Malik was a respectful student, but also full of life, had a great personality. His friends loved him, obviously, and he's going to be greatly missed, not just by his friends and classmates, but also by the teachers who taught him, past and even present.
She adds that the deceased will be sadly missed.
It's been a sad time for the Sunland community, and we are rallying around each other, and especially the Miller family at this time of this tragic loss.
Knowles expresses these encouraging words for his classmates, friends, and supporters.
Losing a student is never easy. That's not something that any school wants to go through. You expect for all of your students to return after summer break, of course, and to get this kind of news during the summer and so close to school getting ready to start. Obviously, it's hard. It's going to be a lot of healing for everyone. And as long as we keep God at the focus of everything that we do and lean on Him to see us through each day, one day at a time, I think that's what matters.
We are outside of the classroom where Malik spent his last school term before the summer break. Principal Knowles says that he will be dearly missed by his classmates and the entire family at the Sunland Baptist Academy. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson.
Thanks, Jolanda. Shane Stubbs is up next with your evening sports report.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to Sports. We've got some brief updates for you, so let's get into it. Team Bahamas putting on a show recently at the 2022 Under-20 World Athletics Championships. On day 3 of competition, Antoine Andrews writing his name in the history books in a fast-paced 110-meter hurdles final. Andrews would blaze down the track, eventually striking gold in a blazing time of 13.23 seconds, setting the Under-20 World leading time for the event, besting USA's Malik Miller and the Netherlands' Matthew Sophia. Hoping to keep the momentum going for Team Bahamas on day 4 was Keyshawn Strawn in the men's javelin throw. He automatically qualified for the final with a toss of 76.87 meters. He'll compete in the final for that contest tomorrow evening. There's Coach John Ingram on Team Bahamas' outing in Cali, Colombia so far.
Team Bahamas is doing extremely well over there today, even through the meet. We had some exciting performances from the 100-meter sprinters, even though they didn't make it, they got the experience. The female sprinters also. We had Andrews yesterday, he won the gold, and that was extraordinary, and bringing the gold back home to the Bahamas is very, very unique.
Over in Birmingham, England at the 2022 Commonwealth Games, Donald Thomas just missing the medal podium with a 4th place finish in the men's high jump. Attempting to clear 2.25 meters, the 38-year-old Grand Bahama native would ultimately finish the competition with a mark of 2.2 meters. Also in the event was Sean Miller finishing 10th with a clearance of 2.10 meters. Still set to compete for Team Bahamas is Devin Charlton, who will run out of lane 5 in round 1 of the women's 100-meter hurdles. And finally in sports, scores from the Gym Time Hoops AAU tournament going down at the St. George's Gymnasium. In the post-high school division, Oklahoma Wesleyan defeated GB All-Stars 154-36. GB All-Stars 2 would then defeat Oklahoma Wesleyan 53-48. In the high school division, the Marlins would defeat 242 Elite 44-32. And finally, Gym Time Hoops would take care of business against the Jaguars 60-40.
And that's your quick check on sports. I'm Shane Stubbs. Be safe and be great.
For designer shoes, sandals, accessories, and handbags, visit Steppin' Out, now at 2 locations, Old Sam's Plaza Freeport and Top of the Hill Mackey Street, Nassau. Steppin' Out, when you want to put your best foot forward.
Pizza Hut Freeport is bringing you savings this summer. Order a large one-topping pizza with a 2-liter Coke, along with our newest dessert, the pineapple tart, which is $22.50, VAT inclusive. A delicious pizza, 2-liter Coke, and a pineapple tart to satisfy your sweet tooth. Available for carry-out, delivery, and curbside to go at our fabulous Pizza Hut restaurant downtown Freeport, 352-9191. Pizza Hut Freeport, for the love of pizza.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Hey there, welcome to Health Bites, where each and every week we give you helpful tips to help you on your health and fitness journey. We're here at the Fitness Connection in the Raven Mall, and today I want to give you 3 exercises that you can do at home. The first exercise we're going to talk about is called a thruster. You can take some dumbbells like these, hold them up here, you're going to go down into a squat, and then up into a shoulder press, and repeat. You want to try to get between 15 and 20 reps for this exercise. Also, a pro tip, if you don't have dumbbells, you can grab a handy-dandy water bottle or a towel or something else and hold them up and squat and press, squat and press. So you don't need weights to start, and if that's too hard, then you can just do it without the weights. Exercise number 2 is for your core. We're going to do a simple plank. You're going to place your forearms on the ground right below your chest. Get your body straight. Keep your hips elevated. You don't want to sag like this. Keep them nice and straight. Now while you do this, you're going to feel your core burning. You might start some shaking. You want to make sure you push as hard as you can to get past the time you did last time. You did 30 seconds, try to get 40. You did 40, try to get a minute. Just keep pushing it. All right, third exercise, we're gonna work some more leg. We're gonna do some lunges. Lunges are good for your quads, your glutes. You can do them in place like this. Or you can do walking lunges where you step, and keep it going. A lot of these exercises you can do with or without weights, but if you want to add weights, make it a lot more challenging, especially as you get stronger. We have them here available at the Fitness Connection. We're located in the Raven Mall, also in Nassau and Seagrapes and Lake Road. Come check us out.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Meets Lockhart Lightborn, you are our Facebook friend of the day. Thank you so much for your continued support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Simone Davis. Thank you for watching, but be sure to stay tuned because the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Tonight, the national report, Fighting Off Inflation. The appellate court gains a new justice. Church leaders to tackle a thorny issue. And Andrews strikes gold at World Junior Championships. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. As global recession fears grow in the United States, the Davis administration is said to be working assiduously to implement safety nets. And this just in case of another external shock over which the Bahamas would have very little control.
The jitters are back. You know, the ones that go hand in hand with talk of a recession? And for months now, that's been the case with powerhouse to the north, the United States. Those fears only intensifying following recent figures showing that the U.S. economy shrank for the second straight quarter. Of course, you can point the finger at the pandemic, but perhaps more so the ongoing war in Ukraine. Here at home, while there's no crystal ball to determine how things will play out, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis assures that measures are being put in place to cushion what may come as another blow.
We are now considering what we're going to do with the retail gas stations, seeking to reduce some of their taxes on VAT, to be able to pass that on to consumers at the pump. That is something in the works. Yeah, that can work. I've also been talking with shipping agencies to determine how we could reduce the cost of transporting goods to the Bahamas. We are a consumptive society, consumptive economy, and most of our things are imported. So bringing in goods, if that is expensive, costs food and other items to be expensive in the Bahamas.
So far, the government has been successful in negotiating a reduced price to transport goods from the Far East. And according to the Prime Minister, that's by at least 40%.
We're now working on containers coming from Florida. And I am confident that we'll be able to have some reduction in respect to that. It's just the logistics that's going to be worked out in that regard. But we are working assiduously to avoid further burdening of our people.
On top Talk of a recession comes amid an already day-to-day struggle with inflation that just continues to climb. Based on the latest figures, the All Items Index for June recorded a 6.2% surge, and this following a 5.5% gain a month earlier. This increase said to be the largest change recorded for the Bahamas in recent years. Stats show that on a year-over-year basis, consumers paid 33.5% more for gasoline, while diesel saw a 32.1% jump. Similar increases reflected in the case of restaurants and hotels and food and non-alcoholic beverages that shot up by 13.8% and 13.6% respectively. Now, while local inflation estimates have not reached U.S. levels, Central Bank Governor John Roll has warned the average inflation rate will continue to move a bit higher. Well, there could be an inquiry into the dealings of Bahamas Power and Light. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, while in opposition, vowed to hold televised hearings into the power company over concerns of a lack of accountability and transparency about decision-making. Of particular concern, a $530 million rate reduction bond that officials at the time said would lead to a slight increase in electricity cost, but ultimately improve service. Davis says several options are being considered.
We are looking into those matters now, and the question is how far we take them. As you know, we've been looking, we have been inquiring in a lot of issues that we thought needed some oversight and inquiry, and those are continuing, and we'll be making a decision. We are considering the inquiries. The word missing on a number of occasions where we are unable to the inquiry, what I call the interior inquiry conducting, where we are unable to get information. There are ways and means of advancing that inquiry to another level to ensure that persons are compelled to respond and to provide information necessary to come to conclusions as to what has happened.
The PM also clued reporters in on what he hopes will be the outcome.
I want to have recommendations from these inquiries as to how best we can show up our democracy, to ensure that transparency and accountability, and that we understand that pitfalls made by persons in government we will not follow.
Promising news from Grand Bahama, the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort on track for completion. That assurance from Lucayan Renewal Holdings Board of Directors, who today revealed that the parties have agreed to a 45-day extension to complete requisite legal documentation. And while the board doesn't anticipate any other material changes, renovations are reportedly on schedule to begin next January. The Bahamas to soon host a major conference. Come August 16th, the Prime Minister will welcome delegates to the first Regional Caribbean Heads of Government meeting at the Bahamar Convention Center. The two-day agenda focuses on climate change and is meant to galvanize regional leaders to represent a unified front on the issue. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis stressed the importance of the Bahamas remaining in the fight against climate change in an effort to get the results and resources needed to stave off any negative impact.
My administration is introducing this conference as we seek to get results in the climate change fight. The Bahamas, along with the region, has lobbied year after year, meeting after meeting, as we sought for the world to acknowledge our vulnerable position. This meeting will position the Caribbean region to take control of our fate and present a unified position to the world at COP27, which will take place in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt in November. We must take the reins in ending our suffering and replace our position of vulnerability with that of power and convince the world that, for better or worse, we are in this together.
Mitigation, renewable energy, adaptation, energy security and resilience, just some of the topics to be addressed. Climate change advisor in the Office of the Prime Minister, Charles Hamilton, anticipates a white paper of a plan of action at the conclusion of the two-day high-level meeting.
us, first things first, we want to ensure that there is clear climate access finance windows available for Caribbean countries to be able to access funding that is not tied to any loans or whatnot associated with multilateral development banks. We want to ensure that the Caribbean is recognized as a formal negotiating bloc within the UNFCCC, so that way we can go ahead and bring forward our views instead of being lumped into other groups as well. Those are just some of the immediate actions, and I can assure you that more of those, initiatives that we want to propose, we will communicate those moving forward.
In other news this evening, with the country's crime level in the double digits, opposition leader Michael Pintard's calling on the government to do more. And this despite accepting that crime is not a political issue. Pintard's comments coming during a press conference at his party's Mackey Street headquarters on Wednesday.
We are ranked globally as one of the countries with the worst record as it relates to domestic violence. Commissioner of Police gets involved with this matter by and large on the back end once a report has been filed or a complaint has been filed. So we need the intervention of the ministry with responsibility for social development through a number of its programs around the issue of parenting, effective ways to rear our children. We need the help from the Ministry of Health in terms of tackling some of the mental health challenges, some of the substance abuse that occur that can lead to whether it's domestic violence or other forms of violence in our community.
Now, while the government welcomes and thanks the FNM for its expressed solutions to the crime problem, Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, says the Davis administration is taking a non-traditional approach to addressing the issue.
If you ask somebody, how do you stop somebody from a crime, you really can't. What you can do, though, is address the issues that people are facing that's causing them to result in violent activities. That's a psychological issue. And it comes back to what we said in this country. We have a bigger psychological issue than I believe any other kind of issue in this country. And I think we have to address that on a bigger scale, on a greater scale. Dr. Darwood spoke about it. He spoke about the need, when he did his budget communication, the need to put more focus in on dealing with the psychological needs of our people. The budget speaks to that because we recognize unless you're able to talk to somebody and address their spiritual need, their social need, their psychological need, you're not going to see their behavior different.
So Brian Marie sworn in as a justice of the Court of Appeal during a brief appointment ceremony at the Governor General's office this morning. Deputy to the Governor General, the Honorable Cynthia Mother-Pratt, was present for the Oath of Allegiance and Judicial Oath. Also in attendance was the newly appointed Chief Justice, Ian Winder, as well as the Justices of the Court of Appeal and its President, Sir Michael Barnett. Sir Brian notes that the Court of Appeal is effectively the last court for litigants, as few cases go to the Privy Council.
So it will give us an opportunity, it'll give me an opportunity to focus a little bit more on jurisprudence, which is my passion, and I hope to be able to bring a level of experience to the panel. There is a very strong Court of Appeal in place now, and I look forward to working with my colleagues. But I think we all have our own particular views about certain aspects of the law. We have different specialties. I have a specialty which I've developed over the better part of 40 years in the practice of law. And so I'll have an opportunity to focus on that now without having to deal with a lot of the administration.
And Sir Brian is also looking to continue working with the Chief Justice and what he wishes to do with the technology that's been recently introduced.
The Court of Appeal is very much a part of that process. And if it's appropriate, I look forward to being able to assist in a little way at the level of the Court of Appeal with some of the innovations and initiatives that the new Chief Justice will focus on. I do think, it's all about efficiencies, modernizing workflows, reducing the time it takes to deal with appeals, providing greater access to justice. And I think we have to look on technology as a tool to try and accomplish these objectives.
The government plans to meet with church leaders sometime this month to discuss the ever-divisive issue of marital rape. Social Services and Urban Development Minister, the Honorable Obi Bolscom, says his ministry is putting together the agenda and meeting with the Office of the Attorney General to ensure all stakeholders are included, as the government must also deal with child protection. Now, as for what the proposed legislation will look like,
depends on the dialogue. All depends on where our respective stakeholders are, where we are likely to go will depend on their involvement. Because we're not going to arrive at a conclusion until we ensure that there is across-the-board support.
well, still to come, a popular tourist attraction gets a fresh start and teachers learn how to code. We'll be back after this break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman's BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
Real-time rules. Don't serve yourself first. Do not eat with your mouth open. Don't rest your elbows on the table. Don't make noise when eating. Does not apply when enjoying KFC buckets. When we bucket together, we are as we really are.
I'm so glad you get me out this house. Things been rough since Marvin dead from COVID.
You know I have you. How the children coping?
They all right. They going out with their friends more.
At least they vaccinated, so you know they safe.
Well...
Deb, you serious? You ain't vaccinated the children after what happened with Marvin and they over 12?
I hear so much things about this COVID vaccine, I know what to take.
Debbie, what you mean? We know they're safe. Just like the other ones we get. You forget how JJ had COVID plus he get sugar? He only pulled through because of the vaccine.
I'm willing, Keisha, but I scared. I can't lose my children too.
Well, Debbie, this COVID ain't over yet. Please carry the children to one of them government clinics. Y'all go get vaccinated and protect yourself and your family.
Thanks, Keisha. I will make sure my family's safe.
You better. Hey, Chef, fix us up. I hungry bad.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow. A message by PAHO WHO, Canada, and U.S. Aid.
What that is, Daddy?
Looks like the census people. They ain't coming in here to find out all of my business.
But Daddy, in school they say everybody should do the census.
Oh no, that's the census, people. I ain't got time for that.
Mommy, everyone is supposed to do the census. How else we gonna know how much people is in the Bahamas? How else we gonna know where to build clinics and schools? Or how many disabled? Or how many need welfare?
Well, I mean, I never thought about it like that.
Wow, I never looked at it like that.
Come on, Mommy. The count depends on you. Let's do this, Daddy. The count depends on you.
31 new cases on the local COVID scene, 21 of them on New Providence, 5 on Grand Bahama, 2 each on Eleuthera and Andros. The location of the remaining case pending. And while the number of people being treated in hospital for the virus is still at 30, what has changed is that one of the sick is now on the intensive care unit. 313 active cases on record alongside another 31 recoveries. Well, following a 2-year halt brought on by the pandemic, officials this morning cut the ribbon on a brand new terminal for Surrey drivers here in the capital. And this after months of lobbying and consultation between drivers, the Hackney Carriage Board, Ministries of Transport and Tourism, and the Nassau Cruise Board. Surrey drivers are among the last industry stakeholders to get back to work since the pandemic. Transport Minister, the Honourable JoBeth Colby-Davis, is hopeful newly introduced measures, including a stimulus stipend, will help.
This new location, east of Rawson Square, is directly opposite the exit point of the cruise terminal, and so will therefore afford greater visibility of our Surrey drivers. The Surrey industry is regulated under the Hackney Cab Act, which has been around since 1909. The main target market for the industry is cruise ship passengers. Therefore, the Ministry of Transport and Housing and the Ministry of Tourism, Investment and Aviation are committed to protecting and transforming the Surrey industry as a staple feature of the Bahamian tourism product and as a source of income for Bahamians.
Now, the Surrey industry has arguably been an iconic part of Bay Street's landscape since the 1800s. Hackney Board Chairman Kenneth Romer reaffirming a commitment to restoring the industry to its former glory.
We want to ensure the welfare of your horses and calves through a robust oversight and quality assurance program. As board members, we will seek to provide training and exposure to industry best practices. We will advocate for legislative reform to the existing act that is in many instances outdated.
Meantime, Unified Bus Drivers Union pleased to get the ear of the Prime Minister as well as that of the Transport Minister during a recent meeting. Bus stop placement and rest stops, just some of their concerns, but a fare increase still paramount. According to Union President Rudolph Taylor, the Prime Minister told bus drivers they won't be able to get that increase at this time. That said, these ground transportation professionals will wait.
The busing transportation mostly utilize the busing system is persons with lower income to medium income earners. And so because of this, just at this point in time, we don't want to give an increase. But in all of that said, when we think about it, the bus drivers or operators who operate these buses is also low-income earners and are middle class. I don't think we have any who are rich that drives bus, and so that's a factor that we want the Honourable Minister to keep in mind, as well as the Right Honourable Philip Brace Davis, because the morale of the drivers are at an all-time low. And so because of this, some persons have become frustrated. Some have became sick.
Franchise ownership, another concern for the group.
Empowering the bus drivers, and by doing this, everybody could, so to speak, have a piece of the pie. And with a unified system, that is something that the government is looking at, and they said that was something that was on the drawing table from 2012. And that's what was told us, and so we're just going to see where it goes from here.
Meantime, Transport Minister, the Honourable JoBeth Colby-Davis, says the meeting with bus drivers went really well. She's hoping to resolve one of their concerns sometime this week.
The first package is a temporary relief package that we're working on, and we're hoping that one is sorted this week, is what Minister Alcides promised me, and that one I think would be assistance through vouchers for gas, and then we'll still reconsider the fare increase, but it wouldn't come until probably the new year.
Well, speaking of money, some $1 million up for grabs to qualified Bahamian entrepreneurs and innovators who can develop unique technology solutions for the public service. The Ministry of Economic Affairs is inviting applicants for its Digital Innovation Project. Candidates must be Bahamian, have parental consent if younger than 18, submit a business plan, executive summary, and have an innovative idea that impacts the public service. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Wade Watson, outlined some of the program's objectives during a Zoom meeting Wednesday afternoon.
COVID provided us with an opportunity to expand our use of technology and the virtual environment for the conduction and production of government services. So we have been, and I say we, I'm talking about this administration, has been very, very keen on using technology in governance. And our blueprint for change speaks to it. The Bahamas Revolution speaks to it. We are very, very keen on it. The Prime Minister's identified a portfolio that speaks to this particular area. So,
computer science teachers getting a much-needed boost with using coding for their lessons, some of them as early as September. And one local company is assisting by, one, not only retooling teachers, but ensuring the coding field has more equity. Jiminita Swain has the story.
What we're doing right now is we have 3 weeks, 3 cohorts of teachers, about 70 teachers in total. And each week we're taking a group of very inspired teachers through a computer science program on code.org. This program they will be able to take back into their classroom, and we're giving them a bit of structure about how they can run with CS in their classrooms given the limited time constraint.
Brian Austin is the Executive Director and Vice President of Coding Bahamas Future. He was leading the way in showing computer science teachers how to apply code.org to their lessons. In fact, code.org is a non-profit organization internationally that's shared by over 70 million students and 2 million teachers. And how does this bode for the overall curriculum with education officials?
We are trying to equip teachers with the skills to teach coding. The ministry has had coding as a part of the curriculum for a year or two now, but teachers weren't fully equipped to necessarily teach that portion of it. And so now we're equipping them, just as a private organization seeing the need, equipping them with those skills to teach coding. In some classes, for example, they were teaching Scratch, and this is just another platform. In some classes, based on the skill of the teacher, but we're just trying to find a way to make it uniform and to grab all teachers in.
Teachers from public and private schools participated in the workshop. Some participants shared their feelings on this session.
In order to have a program like this and having it being accessible to teachers that actually teach on the family, and I think it's pretty cool.
The program has been very empowering. It has been impactful and inspiring. It allows me to expose my students to coding on one platform.
Could you imagine one of the lecturers was only 13 years old and immersed in coding?
Even though I am a child and I am still learning, I still would like to share my knowledge with other people. So I feel like for me it came naturally. After I got the hang of it, it became a lot easier. I did Saturday classes every Saturday for a couple months. So that definitely helped in the transition. But after I got the hang of it, yeah, it really stuck.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jiminita Swain.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
Time to save with a new perspective, where the focus is on values and principles, and people are just as important as profits, where we believe in democracy and equality, and your vote counts, where profits are shared with our members, who are also our owners, to ensure that by working together, we all win, where education of our members and training our staff are one of our highest priorities, where we serve our members' needs through continued cooperative initiatives because of our concern for the communities in which we live. Join more than 40,000 Bahamians who have made the smarter choice. Join the movement. Join a credit union. People helping people to help themselves.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your home, so let's tidy up those finances. Sunshine Finance can help you sweep up your bills, declutter your budget, toss out your debt with a realistic consolidation plan, and plan ahead for that home or car you've always dreamed of. Contact us at apply@sunshinefinanceltd.com, and we'll have you walking on sunshine in no time. Sunshine Finance, we're your leader in private lending.
A household name carries a lot of approval. And when you're shopping for a household, you need a household name. For 50 years, Bahamas Welding and Fire has been a household name in outdoor grills and kitchen appliances. Need to beautify that yard space for your grill? BWF has it covered. For the industrial worker, you can find a complete line of tools and safety equipment. For the welder of any level or budget, you can find the right machinery to power everything. There's no shortage on power with a wide array of generators, and safety is everyone's responsibility. Find everything needed to protect everyone on the worksite. Over 40,000 square feet of shopping space in a convenient location. Bahamas Welding and Fire. We're more than just our name. Located number 13 Wilton Street.
Finale of the Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets basketball tournament Sunday, August 7th, live on the ZNS Network starting at 8 p.m. Big names versus big games. Pastors square off against politicians for bragging rights. The big game, clergy versus politicians, live on the ZNS Network this Sunday at 8 p.m.
Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store has all your back-to-school needs. Find ready-made uniforms and uniform fabrics for all schools in the Bahamas. You can also have your skirts custom-made. Check out our uniform package deals to help stretch your dollar. Get a skirt, jumper, or pants with a blouse or skirt and a pair of socks in a package for one low price. Find the latest backpacks and school supplies. Shop and save at Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store on Mackey Street. Call 393-0758.
AID has everything you need and more to complement your home's decor. Luxurious bamboo bath towels, face towels from $1.25 and bath towels from $5.45. Shower curtains from $2.54 and organizers in stylish finishes. Bath mat sets from $7.27 in a multitude of styles and colors. Bed sheet sets from $9.95 and 7-piece comforter sets from $49.95. Doormats from $1.93 with matching runners and hundreds of area carpets. Sofa covers from $19.95, plain and crushed sheer curtains from $5.25 and thousands of panels to choose from. Blinds from $7.02 and curtain rods from $2.89. Ceramic and porcelain dishes, tablecloths, napkins, placemats, utensils, and more. A wide selection of drinking glasses including elegant stemware, candle holders, vases, and crystal. Full-size mirrors, decorative pictures, and picture frames. AID, Wolf Road and the Mall at Marathon open late and on Sundays to serve your decorating needs. AID, all you really need and more.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Cohort 19, the newest graduates of the National Training Agency. The group lauded for their hard work and dedication to upgrading their skills while earning relevant certification for the job market.
Not only did you dare to dream, you put in the hard work that dreams required to make them a reality. That change is a new vantage point of endless possibilities once you stay committed and continue to strive, and not only dare to dream, but dare to work hard. Some of you have already done that, just that, as 21 of you have gained employment since completing this cohort.
The NTA's executive chairman, Agatha Marcel, says the agency has helped to prepare some 8,000 people for the job market with help from the country's top training providers.
We know here that we can't teach them what they need. We can't train them in what they need because that's just not our skill. So God caused some of the best in the industry, I mean the real best, to train these young people, you know. They get no play. They get no play or training. And we always say to them, don't mind, you know, the degrees and all of that. They are nice to have.
First-time author Kendrick Delaney penning a book about the legend of the swimming pigs called Fairy's Tale. It captures the story of a young boy who finds comfort, support, and friendship from a swimming pig named Sinker. Delaney says he was inspired by family members and his life experiences to write the book, illustrated by well-known author Leo Diwas.
I feel like the Bahamas has a lot of stories that they can tell that could be world-class. And, you know, I see, you ever watch Moana or books or stories like this, I thought, why don't we make a story about the legend pigs that is really world-class, and it's a legend that people could feel like, oh, I need to go and discover how these pigs first began swimming. More books in the series. When I started this one, I really wanted to talk about the swimming pigs, but I also believe that there's a lot of other things that are important to Bahamians, like our, you know, maintaining our oceans, talking about different islands, getting people to explore more than just Nassau. So I want to kind of add more to the series as it goes.
Delaney provided more insight on his next project.
One of the things that bothers me the most when we go to the beach, and I'm sure it's for most Bahamians, is all of the trash that we leave on the beach. And I thought that if this story can really capture the minds and hearts of foreigners and Bahamians, why don't I also use that platform to help clean the oceans, right? So just take a garbage bag to the beach and let's see what you can do, you know, like somehow like that. I even envision in my head we could have Fairy's Tales branded garbage bags, you know, you could pick up, and you feel like you're doing something impactful when you clean the beach.
Well, speaking of the ocean, Bahamian freediver and Andre Musgroves, making quite a name for himself, having scored another guest appearance on Shark Week, his third thus far. The Discovery Channel show features sharks by incorporating research and science on various species to help people learn more about the animals.
This year, I'm on 2 shows for Shark Week as an on-camera presenter and also professional freediver, focusing on great white sharks and mako sharks. We traveled to Guadalupe Island in Mexico, Baja California, dry tortugas in the Florida Keys. This year, my role is freediver and also underwater cameraman. On the first show called Mission Shark Dome, I'm a professional freediver doing some science, trying to get an ultrasound on a great white shark. And on the second show, I'm freediver and underwater cameraman, being able to film my co-host and the sharks that we're interacting with in order to get a biopsy sample from a mako shark.
A pro diver, Musgrove says he started going under at the tender age of 8. Since then, he's turned it into a career. For those who missed out on last week's episode, you can download the app Discovery Plus.
I worked with Discovery Channel a few times for Shark Week. I've done a Shark Week series, their first ever on Discovery Plus. I've shot behind the cameras on Underwater DP and cameraman. And for me, it's a lot of fun because oftentimes they come to the Bahamas to film these things and I can go right in my backyard to film. But for this year, I've traveled a lot of different places that look very different from the Bahamas in order to do these shows. So it helps me be able to get more experience traveling all around the world.
As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The Bahamas and Jamaica are looking to forge a closer working relationship to bolster food production in both countries. So says Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs, Clay Sweeting, who recently led a delegation to the island nation.
When I met with the minister a few days ago, we were able to speak about how we would like to enhance the Caribbean relationship and CARICOM throughout the countries here, and how we deal with agriculture with one another. They have done real well with poultry, and we have done real well in the fishing industry. So it's some ways where we could collaborate with technology, innovation, where we've been successful.
Jamaica's Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Pernell Charles Jr., was pleased to welcome the Bahamian delegation and lauded Minister Sweeting for his efforts.
Minister Sweeting has a very clear and cogent vision for Bahamas, which has inspired us and which has really opened up a lot of opportunity for Bahamas, because we are going to make sure from Jamaica's side that we do everything to support Bahamas in developing the agricultural sector there. So if there's any room for exchange of best practices, we will ensure that we have that process speedily moved forward. I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunity in the poultry industry, in discussions around the blue economy, discussions around the linkages that are required for transportation. That's going to be critical in terms of the sustainable development of our sectors. And I'd say lastly, there's just a need for us to have a different type of thinking around agriculture and fisheries.
While in Jamaica, the delegation visited Jamaican brawlers, Caribbean brawlers, and held official meetings with top organizations like Jamaica's 4-H Club and the College of Agriculture, Science, and Education. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, jungle, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Watch them grow and make plans with them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
We elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate.
I'm Corval Piper. Our business-to-business department takes the job of growing your small business seriously. Our team puts its money where its mouth is. Proof of this is our recent first-ever food truck pop-up hosted at our BTC Propol Track campus. This allowed our business clients who happen to be food vendors an opportunity to show off their goods, and in exchange, we sure got a belly full.
So we're experiencing our first food truck pop-up, and what this is really a twofold effort. What we're doing is we're giving our small business vendors, or I should say more so our business vendors that provide food, the ability to come out and, showcase the foods that they offer. Our team here at our Propol Track location is just supporting them coming out for lunch, so this gives us an opportunity to not go anywhere for lunch.
The business started about 7 or 8 years ago. A small little business in the house where my boy would squeeze the lemon manually. And then he began to buy bottles, and we packaged the lemonade in bottles. Thank you so much to BTC for giving us this privilege to come and display our products.
This is OMG Bakery. We're here at the BTC employee pop-up. We have some vanilla cupcakes, some chocolate cake, guava duff, the best guava duff ever, and chocolate chip cookies.
BTC allowed us to come here today
to go and fundraiser. They allowed us to do it along with them. And it's been quite an honor, actually, to be here with BTC today. Thanks to BTC for making it happen for us today.
Our business team is cooking up a whole lot of hot things this summer as we come up with even more big ways to help your small business grow. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corval Pyford. Be well and be back here. Next, BTC Connection.
Buy Chef Boyardee and Lippy's Vienna sausages, and you could be one of 7 lucky winners to receive cash prizes up to $1,000. Take your receipts to Pritchard's on Robinson Road and enter today.
The savings are extra hot this week at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Kellogg's Family Size Cereals, 19 to 24 ounce, $4.99. Best Value Whole Kernel Corn, 15 ounce, $1.09. Sunny Delight Smooth or Tangy, 64 ounce, 2 for $5. Romaine Hearts, 3-pack, $4.99. Cheddar cheese, $3.99 per pound. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
We have more for you this evening from Exuma, where the Rollville Homecoming Committee honored one of their own, a woman who, despite her stature and age, stands tall. Charles Fisher was there.
Oh, I'm great. And I'm thanking the Lord that I'm alive to honor me in Rollville Homecoming.
At 93 years young and still going strong, what is the secret?
Oh, no secret. Cook the peas and grits. Peas, soup, macaroni and grits. And I'm happy what I have. Drink the water, lay down, boy, and relax. And thank the Lord. I read around the yard, yeah, and get exercise sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're trying to stay young?
Young. Stay young, girl, stay young.
The mother of 7?
And they take care of mommy. They love mommy. They give me the flowers now while I'm alive. Because when I die, I can't see it and I can't smell it, and I thank my children. As the song said, Mother, I love them, and they love me too.
And Rollville has changed so much since she was a little girl.
In those days, in my time, we had good time in school, and you had to behave yourself in school. But it's not like today. But in my time, we had to rule in school. And if we ain't ruled, they punish you in the corner for half a day.
So what she sees for the future of the settlement?
I'd like to see a change with the young generation. Live good. Live as one. And live good in the community. Don't pull down no one. Push them up instead of pulling them down. And that's the way I feel in my mind.
Well, some pearls of wisdom there from our Charles Fisher. Well, it's time for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We are under partly cloudy skies. Temperature at 88 degrees. Relative humidity 62%. We have southeast winds at 13 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,018.0 millibars. That is 30.06 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the Family Violence this evening. They are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company, we're protecting you. 87 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Greenville, Key, and Marshall, Babico, the Berry Islands, 89. 89 also in Allenstown, Bethany. Harbor Island, Rock Sandy, Luther at 88 degrees, 86 in Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space, St. Andros. Fresh Creek and Central Landers have a temperature of 87 degrees, 87s. Also in Allenstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, and that extends into Ragged Island, Clarence Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, 85, Actors, 85, Matthew Tiny 87, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the northwestern islands tonight, right through Friday, which is tomorrow, the winds are going to be easterly at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave height is 2 to 4 feet. Tide-wise, you can expect your low tide at 7:34 this evening, another low tide at 7:42 tomorrow morning. In the central and southeastern islands through Friday, easterly winds 12 to 18 knots, and the wave height is 3 to 6 feet. Now, as we head into Saturday in the northwestern islands, you will see an increase in the winds. They become easterly at 12 to 18 knots in the northwestern islands. Wave heights, they're going to be bumping up 3 to 6 feet over the ocean, so caution flags go up for the northwest Bahamas on Saturday. Low tide on Saturday, 7:42 in the morning, with a high tide at 2:13 in the afternoon. For the central and southeast Bahamas, the winds are going to be easterly, at 15 to 20 knots. Wave height still choppy at 4 to 7 feet. No caution flags are also in place for the southeast Bahamas on Saturday. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Give them peace and love and everything will be all right.
That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Extended for the forecast. Just go ahead.
The pandemic has been not so kind to so many people in our community. And when we think about how we fared coming off the pandemic, we're trying to find meaningful ways to continue to give back.
So with the Together platform, it allows people to be able to give back, to make small donation, whether it's $20 or whatever you can give, to be able to give and to help those people who are in need.
Solomon's, we're all about family. We believe in quality brands and giving you what you need and more for every occasion. Our store is filled with items for the entire family, celebrating everyday living for you and those you love. Shopping is now more rewarding than ever with My Solomon's Smart Rewards. Shop Solomon's because family matters.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know. There's a can drive coming up, and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
If you like a hearty, meaty burger, the A1 Steakhouse King at Burger King Nassau has it all. With flame grilled beef, lots of bacon, cheese, and crispy onions on a sesame seed bun, the only thing that can top this is the tangy flavor of A1 steak sauce. The Steakhouse King is a meat lover's dream, and with an ice cold Pepsi and hot fries, it's all you need to fill your day. Get your A1 Steakhouse King as a combo or part of the new King's Feast, only at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Good evening, everybody. It's time for Sports Thursday. I'm Charles Fisher. Antoine Andrews lining up for the finals of the 110 hurdles at the World Under-20 Track and Field Championships in Cali, Colombia, having already established a new national record in the semis. He didn't come out of the blocks that quick, but he did dig down deep and gave a gallant effort, coming right there at the tape in 13.23 seconds. The gold medal, eclipsing his own national record of 13.36 seconds, and also equaling the world-leading time. Andrews becoming the first Bahamian to win gold in this event at any international event.
Well, it feels good. It's a blessing. I'm overwhelmed right now. But I can't thank God, man. Words can't explain how I feel. It feels good despite, where I came from last year. Didn't even make semi-finals, and they come with you and place with the world lead, the new national record, and a PR. It's a blessing.
Giovanni Walcott, also on the track last night in the semifinals of 400 meters, was hoping to make the finals, came around finishing 8th in 54.89 seconds, but the time was not good enough to move on. But for her, it was the fastest time she's ever run, a personal best for her. Earlier this morning, the world number 2 ranked junior in the javelin, Keyshawn Strong, little effort for him. He took just one throw, surpassing the automatic qualifying distance of 237 feet 10 inch with a toss of 252 feet 2 inch. Once again, he only took one throw, and that throw is the top of all the qualifiers, and he will be in the finals come Saturday. Good luck to the guy from Andrews. From the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England, Tania Gaither lining up in lane 2 of the 100-meter finals. Gaither having run 11.17 seconds in third place in the semis to get here, will cross the line in 11.23 seconds, finishing 7th. Lamar Taylor, he too walking out for the finals of the 50-meter freestyle. History already on his side, becoming the first Bahamian male to ever make a final at the Commonwealth Games, and swimming against a world-class field, but touched the wall 7th in 22.51 seconds. Let's go now to sailing. Roosevelt Regatta featured over 11 C-class sloops. After it was all done, the newest boat on the water, the Sassy Sue, not only took the ocean race, but also the overall title. Boat built by Mark Knowles out of Mangrove Bush, Long Island, and owned and skippered by one of the best, Stephen Knowles.
Well, honestly, we didn't start until after Crab Fest. And we were only working on it in the afternoons. So, really 3 weeks. But we were only working after we knock off from pouring concrete all day. And when you pour concrete all day, you're tired. So we just doing Mark and my nephew and some of the other workers, we just sit down and wait on this for 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon. One night we was out there till 11 o'clock. And of course we had some boiled crab, couple of beers, we had a little party, and we had a good time.
The name of the boat special to the skipper.
My mother's nickname is Susan, but her real name is Lilith, but Lilith Sue Knowles. And my dad, all of my dad's boats have Susan in it. Susan Chase 1 through 5. And my mother never really agreed to that Sausage Sue name. We came up with that on the chat about 2 years ago. And finally the other day I told her, I said, Mommy, we building this boat now. I really want to name it that. So she didn't agree to it at first. She wanted us to name it Bozu. Because Bose is a settlement where she grew up. He lives in Long Island. I don't know that name. So finally she agreed to the Sassy Sue, and that's why it's named that.
So what sets this boat apart, that it was able to dominate so easy and so early?
This boat more keener in the bow than all the boats I've seen, and she could take more rig. Even that buck and sea out there, she going straight through the sea. She's showing the swell, so you don't see no swell on her bow. And once you get like how we had 6 man out there, you can sail it comfortably. She got a sharp mouth, that's why her name's Sassy. She ain't scared of nobody, her mouth sharp. And she told us she was here for the launching, and she told Stephen to make sure we put it on him.
17-year-old Joey Miller is a long list of Bahamians to now play college baseball, having recently graduated from Tallua Falls High School.
At the end of my 9th grade year,
We were looking into school abroad, more likely boarding schools. We were looking in the area of Florida and Georgia. And Tuluva Falls actually sent representatives down, Philip Davis, whose son actually went there, who's also aiming. And he was at British Colonial, the hotel there, and they had like different areas of like study and how payments succeeded there. And I was really looking forward into that school. I was looking forward to more Raven Gap because they fitted my needs more. But we applied anyway, and 2 months later we got the acceptance from there, and that's how things waited.
Miller put up some pretty good stats.
My first year it was I'd say a little rough, but I adjusted because I had a lot of payments who went there with me and I knew that. So we adjusted quickly. It was a great experience. I batted .375 with 4 home runs, 23 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, 5 outfield assists.
Now headed to NAIA Bruton Parker University.
They actually emailed my father a couple of weeks before I graduated from high school, and we were just looking at options what was the next step. And we was looking at schools up north, like in Chicago and stuff like that. And they sent an invite, say, we offering you come down to work out for us. So we thought about it, and we prayed about it, and we went up there, did a workout for the coach, and it was a great experience. He showed me around, and he gave me the offer right then and there. And it was a good offer, so me and my father thought about it, and not too long later, we decided to commit and sign there.
And what can he bring to the team?
I feel like it just bring my energy and determination, and also team player, wherever the coaches need me. And I feel like I just bring a good offensive, not just defense, but all-around offensive impact to the team. I'm looking to see as far as I go Major League. I have a cousin who played in the minors. He's up in New Jersey right now playing in the independent league. So growing up to see them play and also see Josh Chisholm play, it was a great experience, and I just want to push as far as I can go.
That's going to do it for Sports Thursday. Once again, congratulations to Anton Andrews, the under-20 World Junior 110-meter hurdles champion.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Buy Chef Boyardee and Lippy's Vienna sausages, and you could be one of 7 lucky winners to receive cash prizes up to $1,000. Take your receipts to Pritchard's on Robinson Road and enter today.
What? Check old girl, boy. Say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman's BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the tropics remain quiet again this evening. Sahara, thus, upper-level strong winds continue to be a major factor. And our satellite picture, it is showing upper-level low spinning to the northeast of the Bahamas, but there's a trailing trough, which is providing pockets of showers and thunderstorms over parts of the northwest and central Bahamas. And our forecast for tonight calls for partly cloudy with a couple of thunderstorms with a passing shower or two likely. 79 degrees will be a low temperature, and tomorrow we're looking at breezy with a couple of morning showers. Otherwise, in the afternoon, it's going to be a mixed bag of cloud and sunshine. 88 degrees for your high temperature tomorrow, and the extended weather forecast, showers tomorrow, but things dry out quite nicely on Saturday, and that will carry over into the early part of next week. But notably, we will maintain those 90s over the next 7 days. Makishna.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching, and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.